Okay, Renaissance Workshops, ferrocement tips. This one here is for a final coat on a, I call it a shadow coat, and this is a recipe that I've jotted down there on indelible ink so we don't forget. Basically, it's very strong. It's like silica sand, that's very fine sand, white sand. Is 1 kg and 1 kg of cement, and then some black pigment, 100 grams, so that's like the maximum. That's 10% of white, this black oxide, and I put a bit of microsilica, which is like fly ash, and that's 100 grams, and that's basically it. Cement, 1 kg, fine silica sand. So I've got 2 layers of latex gloves on, extra large, just that's good for smoothing. And what I've done is I've pre-mixed it in a powder, which I can then take small quantities, stir in a bit of water and slap it on. So I'll show you here. This is the giant hue or gourd for a sculpture down at the waterfront. So here is where I yesterday did this coat. I didn't know how it would work out, so I did this here, and the black goes into the lines, and I've got a tooth scraper, which I might mention in a future video. But this little I toothed it in there so that it makes a scratchy line. So this here is starting to dry, and it's looking a bit milky, but when it's got its final sort of coat on, it'll go dark. So here's a mix ready to, so it's sort of like very thin porridge, and I'm just slapping it into the previously carved plaster, and wiping off the excess when I've done one pillar. And so it's almost like painting a thick latex paint, but this cement paint, very easy to make, and it actually sets really quite fast overnight. Overnight it becomes quite hard, but you have to keep it damp, because if cement dries out, it stops. If the cement dries out before it's cured, it stops hardening. So you want to keep it damp for a day or so, wet even, and then for another few days in shade, preferably under wraps with damp cloths. I use this black felt. There's a black felt that we've bought, sort of weed matting, non-woven weed matting, anything just to cover it up, tarpaulins, while it goes off, while it cures. So this seems to be a really good way of making a shadowing effect. So when this is a little bit wetter, drier, I'll rub off the excess, and then when it started to set, after it started to set, I'll sand it off with about 360 grit, wet and dry, and that'll reveal some of the marigold coloured plaster underneath. So pretty quick. We're probably going to do a bit of lighter shadowing on this plat work, and it's all underneath all of that is of course ferrocement framework. So that's about it for today. Hope it helps someone out there to do some real art, real outdoor open air art.